Multiplying a series of integers. This is a digital lesson, and this shows students how to determine the sign when they're multiplying a series of positive and negative numbers. So we're going to start with having the students just count the number of negative factors in each of these problems and just type in that number here. So we can see that these have been multiplied. We have the answer to each one. We're just typing in the number of negative factors. So here we have 2, we have 3, 4, and 5. Now we want to have the students look at this and see if they notice something about the sign of the product when there are an even or an odd number of factors. So here, if there is an even number, for example, 2 factors, 4 factors that are negative, the product's going to be positive. We'll see if they can figure that out. When the number of negative factors is an odd number, 3 or 5, then our product's going to be negative. So on the next slide, we're just going to have them review that again and type it in. So when there's an even number of negative factors, your product will be positive, and they're just going to type it in. When there's an odd number of negative factors, your product will be negative. Now on the next slide, we're not looking for an answer here, we're just looking for positive or negative. So they're going to count the negative factors, and they need to be careful because some of these numbers are positive. So we're just counting the negative factors. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's an odd number, so it's going to be negative. 1, 2, 3, odd number, that's going to be negative. Here there's 2. So that's an even number, it's going to be positive, and so on. When they get to slide 5, they're going to be actually finding the answer. So they want to multiply these series of numbers, and they're not difficult to multiply. And then they're going to determine the answer, and they're going to check to see if their sign of their answer is correct by counting the negative factors. When they get to slide 6, they've got some drag and drop terms they're going to place in the sentence frames. And here, when multiplying integers, if the signs are the same, the product will be positive. That's a review of the rules. So they just click and hold on the edge of these, and then they can place them correctly. When the signs are different, the product will be negative. When multiplying a series of integers, count the negative factors. If there's an even number of negative factors, so factors is the word they want in here, the product will be positive. If there is an odd number of negative factors, the product will be negative. So they're going to complete that. Now when they get to slide 7, they're going to be solving a riddle. What they want to do is they want to multiply these series of integers. We're going to find the product at the bottom here and then type the letter that's next to each problem. If they've done these correctly, they will solve the riddle. So that is a digital lesson multiplying a series of integers.